Hello, Jeremy Dancy here, ACSM certified personal trainer, offering you some in-home exercises to help with your fitness needs. The next series of exercises are going to be breaching the gap between moving from shoulder mobility to shoulder stability, to where we could later start to work on strength and unlock the performance even further. The first exercise, before we do any of the other exercises, go back, watch some of my other videos, get an idea, look at some of the thoracic exercises I've done. You want to do some thoracic foam rolling or some T-spine foam rolling before you do any of these exercises. You want to do some of the diaphragmatic breathing that I've shown in multiple videos. Really work on trying to get everything loosened up so that when you get to this level, nothing else is holding you back as far as with your core or within the thoracic spine not having enough blood or being warmed up or mobilized enough. So without further ado, the first exercise we're going to do is called our thoracic rotations. We're going to do a couple different exercises with them to really help lock in and improve the thoracic mobility further. So first exercise we're going to do is we're going to put something down on the ground as far as for our head for support. We're going to have another foam roller that we're going to use for our knee. We want to make sure that we keep our knee, we're going to be kind of side lying in this in the beginning. We want this knee here as high as our hip. We don't want the further this comes up, the more you're going to lock it into your thoracic spine. The lower it is, the more you're going to allow the lumbar spine to rotate too. So we're going to go right here from this position. We're going to start working on what's called just a protraction, so just a sawing motion with our upper body. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move this arm back and forth as such, just kind of waking up the shoulders a little bit, getting them used to that rotational movement. Okay, so after you do about 10 to 12 of those, the next exercise is going to be a full rotation. We're going to reach out, protract that shoulder as far as we can, bring that over this way. And from here, we're going to bring this arm down towards the ground, okay? We're going to do this here about 5 to 8 times, okay? And we're going to do one side at a time. Don't worry, we're going to repeat everything on the other side as well, okay? So after you do this about 5 to 8 times, the next exercise you're going to do is bring this hand back forward as such, punch towards the ground or towards the ceiling. And just a little bit of a note, when you get into this position, you want to make sure that your head is looking up. You don't want to continue to look this way. It's going to tighten you up further. You don't want to be rotating this arm internally or anything like that to help achieve the motion easier. You want to be in a nice kind of as relaxed as possible position right here with the neck and everything. Have the head supported to keep the spine neutral and to deload or take some of the tension off the spine. And then when you're back to this position, you're going to go right into that protraction, retraction here. And sometimes I'll tell people do this anywhere 8, 10, 15 times. Really work on feeling just that shoulder move. Focus on pulling the back of that shoulder down towards the ground as you do this. Okay, so after you do that about 10 to 12 times, now we're going to go active. And we're going to bring this arm forward into a reaching motion, like we're trying to reach and clasp this other hand over here. Again, you want to do this about 10 to 12 times. Okay? And after you do that, one of the things you will notice is that should have loosened up for you, okay? If you get into this position for a little bit, even go into some of that diaphragmatic breathing I talked to you guys so much about, okay? Really stick out that stomach and then exhale slowly. And you'll feel how everything kind of melts into this position, okay? So then you're going to go ahead and you'll repeat this on the other side. Now we're going to get into an actual exercise, which is called a kettlebell armbar or a dumbbell armbar in this position, this case. So from here, we're gonna lay onto our back. One hand's out to our side, about even with our shoulders, okay? This hand's up in front of you. From here, you're going to take the same knee is going to be bent as the same arm that's up towards the ceiling. You're going to step over to the side, keeping this knee higher than your hip. And you're going to roll all the way over as such, okay, until you can place this head
on your arm over here. You want this shoulder on top of this shoulder as much as possible. Let that wobble a little bit, okay? This is actually helping to work on some shoulder stability. From there, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna step back to this position. And you're gonna repeat the same exercise or same motion for anywhere between 8 to 12 repetitions. Really focus on letting it relax. Have a little bit of fun with it. Push the shoulder in and retract the shoulder up and down. Okay, kind of just let it get used to being in that position. And this will actually help on strengthening the joint itself as well. So you're gonna step back here, okay? As soon as you're done with those, the next exercise you're gonna get into is what's called a protraction plank. And planks are one of my favorite exercises, but it's surprising how many people do things wrong. We want to really focus on keeping that pelvic floor tight as we do this, pushing into the ground, squeezing at these shoulder blades. This is called a protraction plank. So from this position, right here, we're going to put our elbows directly up underneath our shoulders, keep our pelvic floor engaged, keep those abs tight, squeeze those shoulder blades down, push them away. Squeeze them down, push them away. Squeeze them down, push them away. Do this exercise anywhere between 10 to 15 times. Then from this position, we're gonna bring our feet up underneath us, or knees up underneath our hips. Okay, put our hands directly up underneath our shoulders. We're gonna put one hand behind our back. From here, we're gonna reach our shoulder towards the floor, keeping that opposite arm straight. And then here, rotate it up towards the ceiling. Again, focus on rotating at the shoulder, not at the elbow or the arm, okay? Bring that shoulder down, push it back up towards the ceiling, okay? Repeat these exercises anywhere between 2 to 3 times. Repetitions I said throughout the video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. Stay healthy and stay strong.